Hey, glad to see you guys back. My name is Tyrone Jones. I'm the founder of the Construction Entrepreneur School and Services, and I'm at my house here in Wildomar, Temecula area, Southern California. It's a beautiful day, a little warm, not hot, but a little warm. I'm coming to you guys today because I want to talk about issues with customers, mainly with residential projects, because you don't run into a lot of issues like this with commercial and public works type jobs. But you do run into issues, major issues with customers. Why? Because you deal with a lot of preference, a lot of things that are hidden behind walls. Homeowners don't have a lot of, comments or say so on for the most part, but things that are seen, um, that they can actually walk by and touch and feel, they do have, preference about that. Whether if it's to code or not, they do want to give their input on that. But what I want to talk about is dealing with issues and how do you deal with them? What do you do? The steps you need to take, and hopefully you can learn a little bit from my story. So, as I told you guys, I used to be a concrete contractor. I still have my license. I have an A, general engineering. I have a B, a general building. And I have a C8. And the order for me getting those, it was the C8 first, then the A license, then the B license. And I just wanted to expand and do more work in different areas. I'm not doing any more contracting. I'm now focusing solely on the school and helping individuals get training on estimating, blueprint reading, and getting their license and being successful as contractors. Okay. And my backstory on why I started the school is because when I got my license, no one, it was almost as if similar to having a kid. You have a kid, no one even comes out to even help you install a car seat in the car. Same thing with getting your license. I went through one of the bigger schools here in Southern in California, actually, the CSLS, Contractor State Licensing School. They get a shit ton of work because they're similar to the State Contracting Licensing Board. They're not affiliated, but their name is similar to the State Contractor Licensing Board. I don't like them. That's why I started the school. I was I was I overpaid for my license. Another reason why I started the school because you there's no way on how much the material cost me as a school to be overcharging individuals to get their license. You already have it hard enough as is to chase after your dream to make it happen, and now to be overcharged when you get to the point right before you get over the wall. Okay. Well, once I got over that wall, I didn't know anything about workers' comp. I didn't know anything about general liability. I didn't know anything about bonding. I didn't know anything about public works. And all they gave me was literature, And I was a guy that liked working with his hands. I wanted to grow my business, but only working with my hands, I wasn't going to get nowhere. But they didn't know how to reach me. All they had me was literature, read, read, read. Well, I wasn't doing a lot of reading back then, and I don't see a lot of contractors that are coming up doing a lot of reading now. More videos, more short videos, more content in different social media platforms and such. But I didn't have a place where I can go to get that information. I got my license through them, took my test, and that was it. They tried to upsell me on a few other things that really was not going to help me in the issues I had at that time as a new contractor, trying to make money for my family, trying to survive, trying to get more work, how to price jobs out, specifically to my trade, and that's why we offer trade focused estimating courses, trade focused blueprint reading courses to teach you as a painter, to teach you as a concrete contractor, teach you as a asphalt contractor, teach you as a low voltage contractor how to estimate, how to read these blueprints so you can go out here and do your best. Okay. And that was my backstory, sort of, is getting my license, left out there in the dark to figure it out on my own. I was calling other contractors. They'll just give me a price. Just charge $12 a square foot. It'll be fine. You'll get that. You'll get that house foundation. Just go ahead and do that. And there was no details, so I had to learn on the backs of customers. And when you learn on the backs of customers, it really brings a black eye to the industry, right? Because when you're learning, you do wrong. Um, um, it that customer and you pays for that wrongdoing. Okay, because if you run out of money, you're not going to get blood out of turnip. Okay, it's bad news when the customer is like, oh man, I found this contractor and I got this low price, and he's going to be doing this work. Look at this, and um, um, a homeowner thinks they got a low price from a legit contractor. A lot of times it's because unless the world or the the shift is right. He had the material. He had all these things to bring down that price. But if it's a new contractor, I mean, unless those things happen. But if it's a new contractor, then most likely he did not bid on that project the right way. And when things go wrong, when you run out of money, you're not able to line up the next steps to this project. It costs you more and things like that. Everyone's upset. The homeowner hates contractors now. You hate homeowners. It actually slows you down as well too. So coming to the construction entrepreneur school, we're going to help you, from start to finish, turnkey, with getting your license, understanding the rules and regulations about your license, about contracts, different types of contracts, getting insurance. What insurance should you get when you first starting off? How much will it be? All those things you're going to learn here, okay? So that's it. Now let me get into the story here. Hopefully I haven't lost you guys yet. I'm long-winded at times. All right, so I had this project I was doing in Pacific Palisades. It was a nice size project. I was excited about it. And what I was doing, imagine, just like my backyard here, the customer was putting concrete in their entire backyard, and there was a split level. There was, say, the front part here was one side, and then there was another section over here that had another sliding glass door that kind of stepped down, like a 4-inch step down. And then toward the back of the property, right at the end of the patio area, we actually sunk that area down and put their jacuzzi, their hot tub, and we put it as so where they can actually walk into their hot tub. You didn't have to walk up steps. You actually just stepped into the hot tub off the patio, right? So I had to put drains at the bottom of this thing, wash out the drains, into a different area. I mean, the whole concept was good, and we came up with the idea, and they loved it, and we go ahead and we start on this project, right? And mind you, during that time, I didn't really have employees. I had contractors that I call contractors that I treated as contractors, but they really should have been employees, right? And we do that a lot because we don't want to pay all these payroll taxes, insurances, and things like that. But when you figure out how to estimate and put these numbers in the right place, then it will not be so bad. It's not as bad as you think it is. But anyway, so I had different guys out there. They don't get done what needs to be done or what I expect to be done that day. I get rid of them. I send them off. So, they kept seeing new faces coming there, and they were getting a little worried, like, hey, Tyrone, what's going on? Why are you, where are your guys at? Who are your guys? And I had to explain that to them, And as you guys know, dealing with homeowners or even customers, period, whether it's commercial, public works, the more they have to question you, the more you become incompetent, okay? So I was just working my way there, and I didn't even know that because I was a new contractor trying to do big work and stretch my limits and, ultimately make more money. Well, we get through the demo phase, we get through the grading phase, and things are looking pretty good. We get to the phase where we're doing form setting, and we're going to be pouring pretty soon here. Well, the design layout is stamped concrete in the middle with the California edge, like a shiner edge around the pad. Okay, and the center was stamped was going to have the antique release, right? And then the border was just going to have the color concrete. And then I had some steps and some other things too. Well, we go ahead and do this project. We stamp it. The pour goes well. We got enough material. I'm happy about that. The colors don't look off, because sometimes when you get different trucks, you're dealing with color concrete. Sometimes, depending on what was left in the truck, or how they mixed it. But the color was very consistent. I was happy about that. They were happy about that. They were there. And then we stamped it. And then now, with stamped concrete, anytime you're doing a powder release on it, it's covered, for a few days, until you go back and sweep it and pressure wash it, and then you can actually see the true color, and then go ahead and seal it, right? And the sealing part is what's there. So fast forward, we go to the point where we're actually sweeping the project. I got another helper there. I'm excited. We start on we did concrete from the side of the house all the way around the back of the house, and then around the other side of the house to the other backyard entrance side. So totally around the entire house, right? So I start at one end, and we clean it up. We're exposing it with the pressure washer, and they're loving the color. The color is awesome. Is what they wanted. I mean, it was like a very earth tonish brown color, and then I had a white release on it, and the white just in that area fits in good. Well, as I started to get around to the backyard, which is the entertainment area, right, where they're gonna put tables at and things like that, I started to find like where we stamped it too hard. I started to find in the front of the step, the face of it, when we defaced the step, whoever stamped it, they hit it too hard, and it was a nasty, just deep stamp there, hole there, Then we had a few little bird baths in certain areas where they were just hitting the stamps too hard. And I was out there stamping. I may have hit them too hard. I'm not sure. Things were going right. We didn't. We had one stamp that was a little funny. We had to be careful with it. And I think that's the stamp that gave us the trouble. So if you have it, don't use the stamp. Even if you're short, pay for another one, rent another one. Don't use it, because not everybody is going to be careful with it when you're moving along in this process. You're flipping mats and laying powder and then rolling it. You're trying to get the joints, and it's just too much going on. So to be worried about a defective mat is an issue. And same thing with me. So we exposed the whole thing. They don't like it. They're upset. They're like, what the fuck are you going to do? We spent all this money. We don't like it. So I say, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and do an overlay over it, the whole thing. I'll do an overlay over it. I'll get the color exact. I'll have the same. I did some saw cutting lines in the center part. I was like, I'll do the diamond saw cut lines, everything. Well, mind you, when they question you, you become incompetent. They start asking a friend of theirs that does landscaping, and he shot, because he wasn't familiar with the overlay process. He gave them all negative reviews about overlays. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna come up. That's not what you want to do. What he needs to do is he needs to take it all out, redo it." Well, that wasn't gonna happen. You got to give me a chance to try to remedy this, So I said, "Hey, I will do an overlay. I'll pay for the entire cost. Right? It's my fault. I'll pay for everything. I think it was gonna cost me $7,000." Right. So in the end, I was gonna make about $2,000 after that, maybe about $1,500 after that. After I paid for that $7,000, right? That's how much the project was. I was gonna make so I was still gonna be on top. Well, they shot that down. They said, "Hey, let's figure this out." Well, I started to send them emails and everything. Kept everything in writing. Was like, "Hey, listen, if I go this other route and try to try to repair these sections and match this color is nearly impossible. Matter of fact, it is impossible, but I can give it a shot. But I just want to let you know in writing that my first option was to overlay it." Okay. Now, I don't want to keep spending money in this. I do want to make it right, but at some point we need to figure out a solution after so many tries at this. And they said, "Okay, we understand that. Let's give it a shot at trying to repair these areas, match the color, which is impossible, and then we'll jump to the next what we'll do next. I said, okay, no problem. So I'm fixing this, man. I'm calling people up north. I'm calling people in different states. I'm calling manufacturers of colors, of stamps, and best way to do this. And every day I'm going there miserable, trying to fix this, trying to do little samples and colors and mix and do, and I'm spending thousands of dollars. Finally, I just tell them like, hey, I cannot do it. It was a month. I spent 5 grand just in materials trying to fix this. I paid someone to come down up north to give me a hand on it. That was this expert artistic type guy. He does different types of work, repairs and things like that. He worked at, different theme parks, matching things, and I brought him down, spent money on him to try to help me. It was no luck. We wasn't successful. I go back to the homeowner. I say, hey, I already spent, $5,500, $5,000. What would you like to do next? Because I don't have the 2 grand to spend to make it 7 to do the overlay now. They was like, okay, well, how about this? You said that if you seal it, it'll enhance the color. I said, yeah, it'll enhance it a little bit. It'll bring it out a little bit more. They was like, okay, well, let's seal it. So I sent them a contract that we were going to seal it. They were, no more money was going to be spent on the repair. And then also we worked out a deal where I was going to give them 5 grand. So mind you, I already spent 55, and then I was gonna give them 5. So that's 10 grand. I'm down. I'm out. This job is a loss, right? So I give them a check for 5 grand. I guess they was gonna put 2 grand with it and get an overlay done. Not sure, but they were pretty upset. There was one time even the wife came out to me and was crying about, she expected this to turn out better, and I just listened to her and I started crying too. I was real upset, and it was a blow to my whole career as a contractor. It really was. So anyway, so I go and seal the project. I seal the project. They were not home. I get a call at night. The homeowner's screaming at me. The husband calls me. Oh, what the fuck is this? I said, what happened? I sealed it. He says, this is not what we wanted. I was like, but he was like, you told me it was going to be darker and this and that, and I had to bring up the agreement, and he was like, no, but you told me it was going to be dark. I said it was just going to enhance it. It wasn't going to make it. So we just left on bad terms. Okay. So in the end of this is I screwed up. My guy screwed up. I didn't have any legit guys out there. I didn't have the right tools for them to work with, and I was giving doubts to the homeowners from the beginning. Okay, with changing out guys, different equipment being there. I'm not there a whole lot because I'm running other projects at the same time. So it was just the whole project was just, probably I probably should have did that project 6 months from that date. Been a little bit more mature, knew a little bit more in contracting, understood about different steps during that time, and been able to come out on top on this project a lot better than I did. But hopefully you learn from that. That was one of the things I went through dealing with a large flat work project. I just want to tell you guys, I'll be sharing more. Just make sure you like, you subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, especially about getting your license here in California. We're structuring a new price program to get your license now. You won't see any 3 price structures anymore. We're only charging one low fee, and then you can add different elements to that to complete your package. Like we're doing Facebook Live, YouTube Live classes, weekly classes, so you don't have to actually leave, come to the school, sit down in a class. You can actually do your classes on the go or at your home. Finish. You don't have to go anywhere, spend gas. It's actually becoming a lot harder for my students to get used to that idea of doing Facebook Live, YouTube Live classes, but it's all turning out pretty good. They're learning. We bring up material and we pull up information from the books that you have purchased already. So you'll be able to add, the DVDs and CDs if you choose to. You'll be able to add the Facebook Live, YouTube Live classes, weekly classes if you choose to. You'll be able to still get a lot of other benefits, but you'll just be able to pick and choose what you want to add to that package, and that'll fit your budget and what you want to pay. So we're hoping that this becomes a big hit, big success. So, like I said, subscribe, like, check you guys out, check you guys later. Remember, no one can stop you. Forever hustling hard. Oh, by the way, I got on my my AT shirt here. Need no alarm, no alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me. So check you guys out. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.